is up, everybody? How's it going on this lovely Wednesday? I know this is a different time than I normally stream, but life is lifing, and so I had to change some things. So appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to the replay crew. And yeah, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. Did y'all see this thumbnail? Is Lisa Grossman leaving Pruvit? I don't know. We'll have to find out. We will have to find out. This video I have sped up just a little bit. So it was 42 minutes long. It's now 33 minutes long. I only sped it up to like 1.25. So just FYI, I did make that change because it was a lot. Shout out to the individual that sent this to me. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys that send me information, content, answer questions that I have on companies and tactics and all of that stuff. I appreciate you guys. You're a huge part of the anti-MLM movement and us creators. Really do appreciate you guys. So, do want to give a content warning. I think I put it in the video description. This is a video that I feel like there is so many forms of emotional manipulation that it's manipulations, singular, that it's pretty bad. And so I just want to give that content warning. I do also want to mention that there is, she talks about Jessie Lee passing away. She talks about the pandemic. And so just want to prepare everybody for that, because in my opinion, the last few minutes of this, she is using that as a way to manipulate her audience and try to sell the new thing. What is the new thing? We're not sure yet, but she's definitely trying to get people to join the group to find out the new thing. So a little bit of a spoiler alert, but yeah. Okay, so let's get this thing started. As always, drop your commentary. Please make sure to follow the rules of the channel. And yeah, thanks for being here. This is going to be a wild ride.
Okay, let's try that again. Lisa Grossman coming to you with incredibly curly, messy, needs to be cut, will be cut at the end of the week hair from my home in Dallas, Texas. And after not going live...
Oh, and just in case anybody is not aware of who this is, my apologies. This is Lisa Grossman. She is a legend in Pruvit, so that she has hit the top rank in the company. Is she currently maintaining it? I'm not really sure, but she is the top rank in Pruvit, at least her achieved rank. Pruvit has two ranks, if you will. They have an achieved rank and a lifetime rank, meaning what is the highest rank that you have ever hit in the company, and then your current rank. So there's those two things, just FYI. So she is a top ranking person in Pruvit. And in addition to that, if you guys don't remember, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because she's going to bring up Jessie Lee, and I feel like this is important to what she is saying here. When Jessie Lee was terminated from Modere, Eric Worre called her, Lisa called her, and Jessie Lee flew from Utah, where she was terminated from Modere, to Dallas. And the reason I'm saying Dallas is because Lisa Grossman here says that she lives in Dallas in this video. Otherwise, I would just be saying Texas. And so Jessie Lee flew there. What happened while she was there? I think that there was a lot of, in my opinion, whining, dining, you know, hey, here's the current situation, here's the companies that are up and coming. Oh, by the way, I have a position in this company. You should think about this too, meaning Pruvit. And I think that's what happened, just in my opinion. Actually, before we even go any further, let me actually run my disclaimer and I'll be right back. Okay. This is a good question. How did JL know her, though? I believe that Eric Worre connected them. That's just my opinion, though. So, oh, my apologies. What is this app everybody's talking about? That sounds cute. I don't know what it is. Tell me everything. All right. I agree, Michelle, 100%. Did she match her jumper to the room, giving me Van Gogh vibes? Maybe she did. I don't know. Okay, let's do this thing. Let me pick the right, there it is.
Probably the better part of a year, I thought, I'm going to go live. I set up my computer, I get it all done. And what happens? Apparently my computer was not plugged in the way that I thought it was. So my battery died 2 minutes after I got started. Go figure. So I deleted it. I went and got my phone. I'm back here. Hopefully, if you're watching this live, there's nobody here as of yet. Go ahead and let me know. I'd love to say hey. And if you're watching on a replay, that would be great too.
Oh, I love this. It's a little self-care app. It allows you to program routines and tasks. I hate that word. The plural version of task, not a fan. And doing them will grow your little birdie. Oh, that's cute. I love that.
But it has been a tumultuous time for me, for the world, and particularly the last year has been incredibly difficult for me. I've had a lot going on, but I haven't been doing it a lot in a public way, as many people probably know. So I go live in some groups, but I've really been thinking, I've been contemplating about what's next. I turned 62 in March, and in November of last year, actually in September of last year, we lost Jessie Lee. And I didn't talk about that a lot publicly, which is all right, because just about the whole world was, as it should be, because I still find it difficult to believe she's gone. She was and remains in the memory of all, which gives her immortality, amazing, and such a difference changer in my life. And what she kept saying over and over again, particularly in the last year of her life, is, if it doesn't make you smile, don't do it. If it doesn't make you smile, don't do it. So I've had a lot of time to think about that. And as I've reached 62, I call this chapter 3. I'm now a woman of a certain age. I guess I've been a woman of a certain age for really a long time now. I've probably been a woman of a certain age for a dozen years. I think 50 is some sort of holy line of demarcation, especially when you're a woman. I think when I was younger, I thought 50 was the other side of, something I'm not going to say, like the other side of nowhere. So I am 50 plus 12. But I suddenly have been thinking more and more and more about chapter 3. And if you're coming on, I see some people come on and say, hey, I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to have a conversation about this. And as I've been through the last few years, hey, Sabra, a pandemic, losing Jessie Lee, turning 60, turning 61, turning 62, now 63, I've come to some conclusions, some lessons in my life. And one of those is that I personally despise hustle culture. I don't like it. I don't want to glorify it. I don't think it's necessary to be successful. Hello, girl. I actually think it runs against your success. Now, please don't think I'm talking about focus. It's important. Don't think I'm talking about consistency, completely necessary to be successful. Don't think I'm talking about getting the job done, doing the things you have to do, showing up even when you're not in the mood to do so, supporting the people that are working with you. But this theory that success is coupled with stress, that if you are not hustling, if you are not stressing, if you are not going 24 hours a day, if you are not sacrificing, that somehow you are falling flat, I dispute it. And to those...
I mean, you can dispute that. That's totally fine. But when we're talking about multi-level marketing and we're talking about the spinning plate analogy that I've used, it's been a while actually since I've used this, but have used that analogy in the past, where you have all these plates and you're trying to spin them. And in order to keep them spinning, you have to be working all of the time. You have to either be creating content, you have to be going live, you have to be following up, you have to do all of this stuff, cold messages, seeing who's watching your stories and sending them messages. Hey, are you just watching? Are you interested in what I have here, or are you just supporting? There's so many things, and recruiting is a big component of it. And the second you stop doing any of those things, it crumbles. And the sad part is that there are so many people in multi-level marketing that are spinning all of these plates, and the majority of them are not making any money. And we know the statistic, over 99%, according to the FTC, lose money or don't make any at all in multi-level marketing. We know how that works. We know that with Pruvit's income disclosure statement that I have provided in the video description, that they make a median income or made a median income in 2022 of less than $11 for the year. That comes from Pruvit. So you can spin these plates, you can make it sound like these people are entrepreneurs and their own boss and this and that, but just like we have learned, you can be terminated anytime. So you're not your own boss, you're actually working for somebody else without actually getting paid, without benefits, and you're working 24/7. And as soon as you stop doing that, those plates crash. So Lisa can say, oh, I'm not a fan of hustle culture. Well, let's point out her privilege in this scenario, which is what I'm about to say is not a compliment. This is somebody that has been in multi-level marketing over 30 years. How many companies has she been a part of? I don't know. She's been on Eric Worre's stage for many times, and for many years. And so when she switches companies, which I think she's getting ready to do, I think that's exactly what this is. All she has to do is make a few phone calls. And these leaders, come to her house, allegedly. Does she cook a meal for them? Does she have conversations with them? Does she wine and dine them by taking them to steakhouses and this and that in the Dallas area? In my opinion, yeah. Yeah. And then what happens? Well, those leaders bring other people, bring their downlines from other companies. And, all of a sudden she promotes, just like she did in Pruvit, in my opinion. So, yeah, wild. It's really interesting to see how many people are leaving their longtime MLMs. It is. Yeah. Yeah. Also, say hello to Jade, everybody. Not this, Heather is not Jade, but say hello to Jade. Also, Heather says hi, Jade. Yeah, they call her the godmother of network marketing. That's her nickname. Yeah. If she leaves, do we think she'll go to another company? Honestly, I think she's going to start her own company. She's either going to start her own company or she's going to become some sort of an MLM coach. That is my prediction. So we shall see. And yes, this is sped up to 1.25 because it was painfully slow.
Those of you who haven't reached their chapter 3 yet, because when I was in my chapter 2, and let me explain how I see that. Chapter 1 is growing up, going to school if you go to college, getting married, living the life of a single or significant other relationship adult.
There's a new member? Oh, Danielle, you gifted a membership. Thank you. Who got the membership? Thank you for telling me. Did Sam get the membership? Sam, where are you at? Did you comment? I don't know if you did. New member, Alexis, welcome. Somebody else got the gifted membership. Let me know if you did so I can celebrate you as well. But on my channel, we play Careless Whisper because it's a vibe and we do a little shoulder fun. Oh, that's such a vibe for a Wednesday afternoon, I feel like. Also, Alexis, welcome. And who got the gifted membership, if you will? Welcome. Welcome. Let me know. Wow. Thank you so much. We'll just play it again for all the new members. Welcome. Yay. I love when I'm doing, when I'm doing something at the gym and this comes on my playlist and I'm like, welcome. Wow, y'all are wild on a Wednesday afternoon. Welcome, Jules. Okay, let's get back to it. Yeah, dance party. Oh, you think of me every time you hear it? I love that. That's so kind, guys. Appreciate that.
That's chapter 1. Chapter 1 of adulthood. Chapter 2 is the kids.
Thanks,
Kids
Tanya.
struggle, getting started in your starter home, working hard, wanting to provide the best life for your children who are at home, working hard in the house, out of the house, soccer games, being a chauffeur, going through all those stages and those ages and all those things that are absolutely so magnificent in memory. You wouldn't trade them for the world, but when you're living through them, you just wonder, especially as a woman, where's their time for me?
Okay, first of all, Lisa, are you telling your story? Because How bold of you to think that your story, your chapters are how everybody else's chapters are. Not everybody wants to have children. Not everybody wants to be a parent that stays home. Some people enjoy working. Some people want to travel. Some people just don't want to have children, and that's okay. But this is a little bit confusing because you're trying to make it seem like you're the authority on other people's chapters, and the people that are in charge of their chapters it's not you. It's that individual. So I don't know if she's trying to present this like, oh, listen, I'm going to share my wisdom with you. And it's like, yeah, but you're coming across like everybody follows the same plan. And that's not the case. And I think that's what makes people really incredible is they get to design how they move in this world, how they move in this life, what they do for work, to a certain extent. So I don't know. I just find that really odd. Yeah, so apparently I'm stuck in the young adulthood because chapter 3 kids not happening. Yeah. Shout out to all the people that don't want to have children, and that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Erin Proud, child-free woman here. She's not telling my story at all. I just feel like she's trying to present it like this is how it works. I'm 63, and so this is typically how this works, and that's not the case.
Somebody's mother. I am somebody's wife. I am somebody's cook and chauffeur and housekeeper and maid and overworked, underemployed, no time for myself. That's chapter 2. And in chapter 2, for the most part, if we're fortunate, we achieve a certain level of financial success. But we have very little time. And then we get to chapter 3. And chapter 3, can't really describe it for men, but I'm married to one, and we are going to be, May 20th of this year. That is in a couple of weeks. It's going to be my 40th wedding anniversary.
Love that.
My 40th wedding anniversary. So if you know me and how difficult I can be, you know that I pretty much married a saint. The love of my life, Steve Grossmann. And after 40 years of being married and 45 years of being together, I probably couldn't tell you any more now than I could then about how a man really sees things. But from a woman's perspective, when you become a woman of a certain age, and
I'm going to pause her right there because, first of all, I think that people that have spent time with a partner can at least explain their perspective. And notice I said partner, it doesn't have to be, husband, wife, partner. I've been with my husband for many, many years, and I can absolutely tell you his perspective on things because we've had conversations. So I don't understand what she means when she says that. I can't really tell you his perspective. Well, but has he shared his perspective? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Also, these traditional gender roles, not a fan. Do what is best for you. Do what works best for you and your partner, what makes you the happiest. If you choose to not have a partner, if you choose to not have children, if you choose to do whatever you do in your life, that's amazing. But trying to fit people into a box, not a fan of that at all.
Say that's 50. And for some people it's earlier, and I'm saying age is a state of mind. When you are a 50-year-old plus woman, you are in a different place. Chances are that nest is getting empty. And from having no time,
if they have children. See, this would make more sense if she was saying, oh, this has been my perspective. No. She's not presenting it that way. Also, she is bringing up all of these things for a reason. And I know you're probably wondering if you're not a member and you didn't get on the members only live earlier today where we were previewing some of this. This probably isn't making a lot of sense as far as what we're doing, which was why I gave the content warning at the beginning of this, because she is using some of these things to emotionally charge her audience, in my opinion. And in the last few minutes, that's when she gives the pitch. And I couldn't just do the last 3 minutes. We have to talk about all of this because one of the things that people in multi-level marketing try to say is that content creators in the anti-MLM movement clip their videos and edit their videos. Not the case. If anything is done, we speed it up because some of them talk extremely slow, like this video, right, Luna? And so, no, we have to cover the whole video. But I think in this case, it's really important because she is going to hit all of these different kind of pain points. And then at the end, she's like, oh, but, you know, join my group, you know? So that's why we're talking about this in the way that we are. Also, yes, the Aces won last night. Very excited about it. We're a little rusty though.
You have a lot of time. And if you're out in the career world, working for someone else or in corporate America, the world may be telling you that you are past your prime. You are on your way to retirement. All the great things that were going to happen for you in that career, they've happened already. Now, the world is changing a bit, and I will be the first to admit that. And there are a lot of women today and men succeeding at this, and more men than women, but you know, it's changing at this age. But that's what I hear from a lot of women. It's also a time.
I totally misinterpreted this. I thought you were talking about the Las Vegas Aces. My apologies. Good Lord.
Time of what I call chapter 3.
My bad, Cal.
Physically, it's different. The world is different. A lot of women are looking for what to do. Thank you, Karen.
Sorry, guys.
Wanting to seek out friends, wanting to have second careers. We've all done that.
Thank you. I planned it that way. I have my, you guys probably can't see this. I have my put women's sports on TV shorts or shirt with my green shorts on. And I thought, how fun would it be to kind of do a play on the green? So that's what we're doing. And then, of course, I got to match the lighting. So thanks for noticing, Jessica.
Wanting to have side hustles. And it's a different place. And it's in this last decade or so, traveling around the world, seeing all these different cultures, going through a pandemic, losing a lot of people, you know, somebody that I loved like a daughter. Here's the deal. Time is what matters. How you spend your time, who you spend it with, what you spend it doing,
I agree. I agree with that. Time is the one thing none of us can get back. And unfortunately, this person is in a multi-level marketing company and has been for decades and is talking about, oh, take your time back. And what this is giving, in my opinion, is, oh, I'm about to do multi-level marketing different. No, it's the same manipulative, predatory model, in my opinion, that preys on people and requires people to recruit. And their Pruvit's new comp plan changes, unbelievable, not in a good way. Their new affiliate that's actually a promoter, in my opinion, ridiculous. Their new keto health coach, ridiculous. Do not suggest. God, I hate it so much.
You spend it thinking about magical moments, meaningful conversations, because we can make more money. You can't make more time. And every day is a day I look to see where's the beauty in the day. Where can I find the memory? So that's the first lesson for my life. Don't like hustle culture. Don't know how I ever got seduced into it. If this is resonating with you, let me know. Because if you like the hustle culture, I'm not saying that that's wrong. And I'm not saying that doesn't work for you or that shouldn't work for you. But what I'm telling you is it did not work for me, although I did it. I did it because I believed that that was what was necessary to achieve success. I believed that if I wasn't working all the time, running all the time, going all the time, that somehow I was falling short and would not be worthy of the rewards that life was bestowing upon me, would not be deserving of all of the blessings in my life.
Now, I would love to know what time frame she's talking about. Is she talking about when she first was a part of multi-level marketing at the beginning, the first 10 years, the second 10 years? What time frame are we talking about here? Because hustle culture is a part of multi-level marketing. You have to be working all the time. So you can sit here and say, in her, I don't know, MLM privilege, I suppose, that, I'm just not going to do that anymore. Well, yeah, Lisa, that's because you've been in for many, many years. And you can pick up the phone and call people and they'll join under you. Allegedly, though, right? Yeah.
But the reality is, I was so busy sacrificing so my family could have a better life that a lot of times they were having that better life without me. And a lot of times my presence wasn't nearly as necessary.
That's so nice. Thank you so much, because I haven't been able to catch a live since your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. I feel like we need a sound bite for this.
And there was much rejoicing.
That's for Monty Python. So all the Monty Python fans, I hope you get it. Chantel, thank you so much for that. That was really nice of you to send that super chat.
As others told me that it was, or that I began to believe it was. You know, the sun will rise without me. And if you're working with highly competent people that you've been working with for a long time, they can handle it a lot of the time. And a lot of time when we're trying to help them by handling it, what we're really doing instead of empowering them to succeed is we're enabling them or even preventing them from stepping up and being able to take the torch. If you won't let go of it, they can't grab it. I love what I do, and I've had the good fortune in my life to be on stages all over the world. But you know what? I've been on a lot of stages. And if I don't get off, somebody else can't get on. And there are a lot of...
I'm sorry, what? If you don't get off the stage, somebody else can't get on. Oh, Lisa, how kind of you to step aside and let the next generation come into multi-level marketing. Are you serious? Also, I find it so hypocritical in a sense that she's talking about all of this, and I remember what it was like when I was in Pruvit. I remember the fact that she was, in my opinion, collecting a check off of Jessie Lee and the Empire, and people didn't really hear from her. I mean, I can hear what she's saying, you know, you got to let people lead or whatnot, but at the same time, we're talking about a ton of money, and she didn't really do anything. What, she made the phone call when Jessie Lee was terminated and said, hey, come to Dallas, come here, come to my house, and then wined and dined her as she was shopping for MLM companies. Meanwhile, she was a part of Pruvit. I just find that so, maybe it's not hypocritical. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe it just has given me the ick, you know? Unethical? I don't know.
People up and coming that we're turning the world over to that need to be on those stages. They're talented, they're bright, they're industrious, and whether we like it or not, the world is going to be in their hands in the not too distant future. If you talk to a lot of them, they believe it already is. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is we are losing the art of conversation. And I want to have a conversation about that. And if you think this is resonating, I would ask you to please share it, because I have noticed this more and more and more.
What are we sharing?
Technology is amazing as a tool, but like all things, it's neutral. And it can serve you.
Exactly. Just like so many other top leaders in Pruvit that are still currently collecting a check and not doing anything. Unbelievable.
You can become a slave to it. The choice is yours. But what has happened, and what I've observed in the last 20 years or so with all this technology, is people are losing the art of conversation. People don't really know how to speak to each other anymore because they've been doing this for so long. And that's edited. They talk in snippets. They talk in texts. And it's not really a back and forth. It's a, they said this. And will you read this and see if this is a good thing to say? Or should I respond like this? Or no, that doesn't sound good. Let me change it.
See, no. I can think of many conversations recently, just as of today, where the text, whether it's voice messaging or texting back and forth, has gone back and forth, where it's an actual conversation. And I think times have changed. And the idea of picking up the phone and calling everybody that you want to speak to just out of the blue, there's a lot of people that do not want that. And so sending a text or a quick voice message through Messenger or whatever is a lot easier for people. People are busy. Many people are having to work multiple jobs just to barely keep afloat. And so they don't have as much time as they did. And so I don't know, are we talking about people in general, or are we talking about people in multi-level marketing? Because I feel like we're talking about two different scenarios. I think there's a lot of people, and let me know in the comments, that have back and forth conversations through text and are perfectly happy with that. And there's no underlying ulterior motive, you know? In multi-level marketing, they're having those art of conversation type things, and there's a motive there. They're trying to recruit you, or they're trying to sell you an overpriced product. They are sorting you. Okay, you're either going to be a customer or you're going to be a distributor, you know, and they're constantly sorting people, and they're doing it under the guise of having an authentic conversation. That's not the case. So I don't know, just interesting. You guys let me know what you think, but yeah.
It's not an interaction really between two people. And conversations is where everything that matters really happens. And the lack of conversations, the lack of open dialogue and communication is where everything falls apart. It's where we start to forget that we are all of us first and foremost human beings. It's where we start to forget to really understand and look at it from another person's point of view.
I mean, I think that happens in multi-level marketing, and it's because there's always an agenda. You can't just have a conversation just to have a conversation with somebody. There's that underlying motive that I just referred to. So, you know, if you're trying to sell people an overpriced product, you're trying to recruit them, of course you're not going to come across as human. Of course you're not going to be, you know, empathetic to whatever is happening in that conversation with that other person, because you're thinking about, well, what script can I use, or how can I take this? How can I interject, you know, my thing, my company, my product, my opportunity, or whatever into the conversation? They're like pain point snipers, and that's not a compliment. That's manipulative. It's gross. And it's funny because you hear all of these people and these top leaders in multi-level marketing talking about being authentic. Yeah, okay.
70% of people today spend more time talking or communicating via their phones, not phone calls, you understand, than they do in live communication with other people. And what's happening is communication is getting less effective. And quite frankly, we're getting dumber. We're speaking dumber. And
what?
Here I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. So
what? Because people are texting, because people are finding a quick way to communicate. What? That doesn't even make any sense.
You know me, if you've ever watched me live, sometimes I have an agenda and I can pretty much stick to it. And sometimes I just want to get on and talk to people. And
Oh, I can tell you always have an agenda, Lisa. There is always an underlying motive. 100%. Hey, Aaron, let's get on a FaceTime. Let's get on a Zoom and have coffee. Yeah, I wonder why you wanted to do that, Lisa. I wonder why you wanted to spend that time. Yeah.
I've done that in so long, that's what's happening here. So let me dive right into this really thing that I've been thinking about for the last few days. But I wanted to come on and say hi. It's been a long time. Language. For those of you watching, and I'm sure if you're watching, you do speak English, and for many of us in America, that is our one and only language, and we're a little bit arrogant about that until we go to the rest of the world and realize that a lot of people speak English as a second language, and in many ways are more articulate than those of us who speak it as our only language. In Europe, they tell me that I don't speak English, I speak American, because they feel it's become so informal that it's not even a good usage of the language anymore. And I don't agree with that. But many, many people in the world speak 2, 3, 4 languages. We have people in this country where English is a second language, and we almost, don't take them as seriously because they have an accent, or maybe their vernacular is imperfect, or their grammar is imperfect, and we forget to remember that that's...
I couldn't agree with this more. I think if it's a text, an email, allowing time to process, gather your thoughts, depending on what we're talking about, I think that is a positive thing, allowing people to process. 100% agree with this.
Their second language. How well can we speak in theirs? So we have this, for those of us that speak English, and it's our only language, English is the richest and most diverse language in the world. 30% of its words come from other languages. We have so many synonyms. We have so many different ways to be descriptive and articulate. We can drill down to a specificity in English that is unparalleled, really, in most other languages. And we don't use it effectively. And what happens is we are not as clear. We are not as specific. Things become more vague. So we're less... So the output, what we produce, is not as good as it could be. But here's what really happens. We start to affect our own mental health, which is my second thing. Now, the first thing was I don't care for hustle culture, and the second thing I'm going to tell you is mental health is everything. Mental health and peace of mind are, to me, the new currency. They're the new currency.
It's not a new currency. It's been a priority. It's not a new thing. Listen.
You cannot make more time, and you can make more money. But if you're not happy, if you don't have peace of mind, if you're not mentally where you're at, everything is tougher, and life is not joy. And life is about finding the joy. So, for example, if I ask somebody how they feel and they're feeling pretty good, here are the words I'm most likely to hear. Hey, how are you today? I'm good. I'm okay. I'm great. Things are fine. Things are pretty good. I'm fine.
There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to be good. It's okay to be great. I don't understand what we're doing here. Are we giving people a language arts lesson here, Lisa? What are we doing?
Fine is the most overused word. People are always fine. First of all, to me, fine means effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. We are.
What? Effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. When you say fine, according to Lisa, that's what that means. Sometimes being fine is just being fine. It's okay.
Everybody's fine and nobody's fine today. But let's take the other side of that. So if people are happy, oh, Stormy, I really want to talk to you. We have to connect. So let's take the other side. Because I wish that when I asked people how they were, that I got some variation of good, happy, fine, even though they all only use 5 words. But where people really do themselves a disservice is the loudest voice that is affecting your mental health, the loudest voice that is affecting your success, the loudest voice that's affecting your ability to change your life or make a difference in your life or in the lives of others is your own. It is the voice inside your head. When other people say things that upset you, they are merely echoing that critic in your head and almost confirming what you are afraid of anyway. So
no. Sometimes when people say things and it makes other people angry, it's because what they're saying is wrong. For example, discrimination or anything going on in the world, essentially, right now. People are angry because it's wrong. It's not because their actions or what they're saying are mirroring their insecurities, and that's why they're angry. Like, what are you talking about?
let's talk about this. When somebody's not having a great day for whatever reasons, and you ask them, well, what's going on? You'll hear things like, I'm pissed, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm upset.
Oh, yeah.
These are very...
I missed that. I missed that part. Stormy Wellington, she wants to talk to you. Now, why would Lisa want to talk to Stormy Wellington in Total Life Changes? Now, why would that be? Hey, I miss you. We should catch up. That, in my opinion, is Lisa's recruiting pitch. Hey, I miss you. We should have coffee. Hey, I miss you. We should, you should come over and I can cook for you. That, in my opinion, that's what Lisa does.
Strong words. If you keep telling yourself that's what you are, that's what you are. But are you really? Are you really angry, or are you just a bit annoyed? Or
no, a lot of people are very angry with good reason. We're angry.
Or perhaps you're just perturbed. Maybe you're just a little bit irritated. You know what? Maybe you're frustrated. Maybe you're peeved. Maybe you're just short. Be you're a bit aggravated. Are you really that mad that you spilled a glass of water? Because if you tell yourself you are, it will be with you in the rest of the day. It can ruin your day. It can change your state right then and there. Or are you just a little bit annoyed? You went, you got the towel, you wiped up the water, it's done, it's over, it can be over. You can walk away, spill's done, water doesn't say anything, because it was just a little bit annoying. But if you're really mad about it, if you allow yourself to be really mad about it, that's going to have a much different impact on you. And when somebody asks you, what kind of a day are you having? And you say, it's good. I hope that most of your days are good. I'd say all of your days are good, but that's a little unrealistic.
Yeah, I have sped this up to 1.25 because watching it at normal speed was too much. I could not do it. So I did speed this up to 1.25. So she doesn't normally talk like this. Again, I've sped it up a little bit, but I absolutely understand your point, Jessica, for sure.
But there should be some good in at least every day. Any day you start above ground is a good day in some form or fashion. When things happen, and God knows, like I said at the beginning of this, I've had a really rough, 6 month last year. Somebody that I love very dearly got very sick, and she's gone now, and there isn't a day that I don't miss her. And that's been tough, but there's still joy in every day. When I think about her, I cry. I think about her, I smile. Great memories. And she lives on. But people say, I'm good, I'm fine. How are you really? Because some moments are magical. There are days that are fantastic. There are days that are incredible, exuberant. Are you approaching the day with...
What in the toxic positivity is happening here? Some days are cool. Some days are all right. Some days we're just getting through the day. And there's nothing wrong with any of those. I don't understand. Somebody, there was a comment I just pinned and somebody said, why is she policing people's language? Why is she doing this? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's so odd to me.
Are you in a good mood, or are you enthusiastic? Are you ecstatic? Are you on fire? Are you impressed, inspired?
If you're on fire, you should probably put the fire out. You should probably seek assistance. Stop, drop, and roll. Oh my God.
Intoxicated with the joy that you are finding in that particular day.
Oh.
Those are two examples of language. But it gets even further, because you have the ability with this mystical, magical language of English that we speak. And I know that other languages have their strong points too. I just don't speak them well. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. But I do know that English has more words than any other language, and that we who are native speakers, when it is the only one that we use, don't use enough of them. You know, we hear the Brits and they'll say, my gosh, it was brilliant. You know, there's good, there's smart, there's intelligent, but brilliant is really like intelligent with an exclamation point. If that's smart, this is smart, but if some things are more smart than others, don't you deserve
Savannah,
to label it with a word that differs?
Savannah, I was talking about camping with Gavin this morning, and us camping. Your family, my family. I was talking about it. It's been crazy, but I promise we're going to make this happen this summer. Yes.
Differentiates it so that everything which is not the same appears the same. So that's my next rant, is use your words, learn your words. Words are a magical tool, and more than anything, they change the world for good. They change the world for bad. You know, nobody likes war.
Action changes things. You can say whatever you want. Action is what actually causes the change. So,
if wars are started with words, peace is achieved with words. Innovation is done with words. Transformation is done with words. Leadership cannot exist without powerful words, because it is the ability to transform a vision that you see into a descriptive parable, story, declaration, manifesto, whatever it may be, that allows other people to see the picture.
Savannah, is it your birthday? Ma'am, I'm going to call you after this, if that's okay. I'll text you. We got to play a song for Savannah. I didn't know it was your birthday. That's terrible of me.
Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. Happy birthday, Savannah. I don't know if I have anything else that... Hold on. I don't know. I'll look for something, but happy birthday. And you're here with us. That's so cool.
You think in pictures, and the more vivid the language, the more articulate and specific the language, the more people are able to see the picture. And it is when people can embrace, and they can see that vision, that they can embrace it and join you in the pursuit of bringing it to fruition. So, for example, now a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, but now I have AI and I don't have to worry about that. The reason that 50%, they estimate that 50% of people can tell when something is written by AI. Now, to give you just a kind of a comparison, 50% of the people can't tell you 50% of the capitals of 50% of the states, and yet 50%.
And what does that have to do with being successful in life? What does that have to be? What does that have to do with having an authentic conversation, connecting with another human being without an underlying agenda? You can connect with people and not know the capitals of 50 states and still be a good human and still connect with people. I don't understand. What are we doing, Lisa? Lisa, what are we doing?
That people can tell that something is written by AI. Why? Because AI's
no
output
emotion
to you is going to be predicated on the input from you. So if you are using your words, if you are using more specific language, if you are talking to the AI, if you are having conversations with it as if it's your assistant, your friend, your peer, your helpmate, your team player, then it is going to be able to learn and speak back to you in the way that you speak to it. So what it's going to help you do is get a greater output that is reflective of you, representative of you, and sounds like you, because effectively it was programmed by you. But if you are just talking to it in Cliff's Notes, in 140 characters, in the least amount of words possible, give me a list of 10 things people can do in Dallas, Texas, then you're going to get some generic list of 10 things people can do in Dallas, Texas. And if you say, well, expand upon that and share me why those things are great, it's going to sound like some second-rate travel log that nobody ever reads. But if you are sitting there and saying, okay, give me 10 places in Dallas, Texas that are off the beaten path, that would appeal to people that want to take the road less traveled, that would be inspiring to those that love nature, who like to get away from it all but still remain within the city, the people from the hustle, bustle, and noise of the urban lifestyle, which they love, gets them to a point where they have to escape from it, but they don't want to travel far. Give me 10 restaurants that are tried and true experiences, that if people went to them and they were visiting this town, and they went home and never came back, these would be magical memories worthy of being not only captured on film and on photos for Facebook posts that are going to like disposable content, but they would want to print out and put in their memory book. That would be in the slideshow at their 50th wedding anniversary when they talk about the places that they have been. The most powerful tool that you have is language. And you do not have to have a degree in English. You do not have to have gone to college. You don't have to have graduated from high school, because today, more than ever, for free, all day, every day, you can read. And if you read, your vocabulary grows. All day, every day, you can sit with AI and get it to question you and get it to ask you to help, make me be more specific. Drill down with me. Let me know when I'm using the same words over and over again.
Bingo. Yeah. Anyways, what's up, Val and Gus? Val and Gus? Val or Gus? Hello.
Make suggestions for other words that will have more emphasis because they're not heard as often. Now, people will come and people will go from this live, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking I'm crazy, and it's quite possible that I am. But that's one of the joys of chapter 3, which is what this whole thing is kind of being framed within. And what you're going to see, much of what you hear from me in the months and years to come is going to be framed in. Because at 63, I finally understand. We all know this, but you're not all going to like me. You know what? That's okay.
Sure.
I'm not going to like everybody I meet. I love everybody I meet. I love.
How do you, if you don't like some of the people that you meet, how do you love them? It's okay to not like everybody. It's okay not to be friends with everybody. It's okay to have healthy boundaries in place. It's okay to say, this is my coworker that I go to work every day. We have lighthearted conversations, and that's that. It's all right to have boundaries in place with boundaries in place with relationships. That's healthy. So I don't understand how you can like somebody or not like somebody, but love them. That's a little odd. And it's okay to not love everybody. It's all right. Doesn't mean you're wishing harm on them. It just means that's not my person, and that's okay.
People. I love people that I don't like because I try to have the empathy to understand why they can be so ugly, why they are so cruel, why they don't understand that it is perfectly acceptable if you see something you disagree with to scroll on by.
Okay. See, now we're getting into like, oh, you don't agree with multi-level marketing, you're a hater, you're a naysayer, you're this, you're that. Well, see, here's the thing. When there are unethical things that are happening, there are people that speak up about it. That doesn't make them a hater, that makes them an advocate. If we come to a place, or I don't even want to say we, but if we look at anti-MLM advocacy and we compare it to other types of advocacy, and only in MLM and anti-MLM commentary do we see people that are like, oh, they're in MLM, that say, oh, they're a hater. No, it's advocacy. It's speaking up so people don't join these companies where they're more than likely not going to make any money or lose money, plus time, which she said is very important. Remember that? Time, energy, creativity, their own identity, thinking for themselves, and in that, critically thinking for themselves. Some of that is going to fly out the window, literally, when you're a part of multi-level marketing. So it's interesting to hear Lisa talking about, oh, well, I don't understand how people can be so cruel. I don't understand how people could, be so filled with hate, or however she worded that. Well, advocacy is bringing things up that are uncomfortable in the hope that people will get the information and not join these things or not fall victim to certain things. So it's interesting. I have never heard her talk like this before.
You know, when I was growing up, if I didn't like a TV show, I changed the channel. If I didn't like a store or I didn't like their policies, I voted with my pocketbook. If I didn't like a way a person behaved, I didn't invite them to dinner. I didn't feel the need to stop and insert myself into something that doesn't serve me.
And that's your choice. You are choosing to not be an advocate with whatever example you are giving. Other people choose to be an advocate and speak up for things that are wrong. I mean, how does she not get this? This is so fascinating. Yeah, they just don't like being called out. Yeah.
So that's so what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter if everybody likes you. You have to like you. You have to sing the song you were meant to sing. You have to think, you don't want to run off angry or upset or go off crazy, especially in these days of social media where everybody seems to take great pleasure, in embarrassing or not everyone, or many people seem to take great pleasure in upsetting other people. But it doesn't matter what other people think unless they are going to accept responsibility for your happiness.
But Lisa, I'm gonna double back to what you were saying. Are you really upset by what you're reading? Are you really angry about what you're reading as you're scrolling by? Or, are you perturbed? Are you irritated? Because remember, at the beginning of this, she was trying to correct everybody's language and how they explained how they were feeling in their day, whether it was fine or good or any of those things. So, Lisa, are you really upset about what people are saying about your precious multi-level marketing? Or, is it just an inconvenience? Because maybe we can use those words instead of, calling people haters and this and that. Maybe we can use advocacy instead of hater, since we're going to give language arts lessons. Okay.
For your lifestyle, for your joy, for your life. And if anybody was willing to do that, that would make you a victim of their choices, not the master of your own.
Oh my God.
So my lesson at 63 is you cannot be a victor and a victim. You cannot blame other people for your lack of success and then claim your success when you achieve it. Because it isn't about blame and it isn't about shame. They are overwasted.
Yes, the Pinterest quotes have entered the chat.
Misunderstood emotions that people confuse with responsibility. But personal responsibility for who you are, where you're at, and how you respond to things is the key to getting everything that you want. Unless what you want is to be, unless the biggest yardstick you are using to measure your own life is the court of other people's opinion. And popular doesn't necessarily mean it's right. And popular doesn't necessarily mean it's smart. And popular doesn't mean anything other than a majority of people in any given circumstance may go left. So ask yourself, do the most successful people over the long haul go left with the crowd, which would be popular, or do they go right and reestablish what becomes popular? Or are they the cutting edge? Because innovators are ridiculed, innovators are vilified, but that's...
You know who else are vilified? Whistleblowers. But they still speak up. And by them telling their story, it's educating other people. It's advocacy. And I agree with Cal. You can definitely be a victim and a victor all at the same time. You can be a victim of a crime and speak out so that other people don't become victims of crimes, similar crimes. Oh, Lisa, I see nothing has changed.
That's the thing. So, third lesson of chapter 3 is be you and be true to you, because you're the person that you have to live with and the voice that you have to listen to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Lesson number 4, chapter 3 of my life. Be kind. Hate is louder. Love is stronger. Kindness is what separates humanity from the animals. We measure
kindness. I think that it's a little bit deeper than that. I think there are many reasons why humans are different than animals. I don't think that it's kindness. I think there's DNA is different. A whole host of things are different. I don't think it's just kindness that separates us. Also, Luna's very kind. You know, Stormy, she's a little feisty, but Leo's very kind as well. So, oh man. Also, this is a great point. Humans are animals. Oh Lord, this is wild.
Our humanity by how the least of us is treated, by how the weakest of us is cared for. That's what makes us human. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. It doesn't cost anything, but it can change a person's day.
Okay, but this comment is everything. Vibe of the video. I must have missed my stop because I don't know where we are and I want to get off. Yes. Absolutely.
And if you can change the right person's day in the right moment, it can change their life. And it works the other way. If someone's on the edge,
Did I miss a new member? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Amanda, welcome. Let me find the song here. Hang on. I need to get my, whatever that thing is, set up. What is that called? Hold on, it's coming to me. Soundboard. I need to get that set up. Welcome. So glad you joined. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you. And yeah, this is, guys, this is something.
lack of kindness can push them over it. We are living in a time where mental health is more fragile than ever, or perhaps it isn't. Perhaps in the super connected world of the internet, we only think everything is much worse because we see things we never saw before. Because we are so connected that we are more aware of what's going on in that small town 2 states over, or that small county half a world away, when once upon a time we weren't. But if we know how many people are struggling today, and we are blessed, because we are all struggling, everybody's fighting a struggle, but if we are blessed enough to be fighting a struggle ourselves and winning, because we have joy in our lives, because we have a support system of people that love us, because we may not have all that we want, but we have a roof over our head that we're in no danger of losing, because we have a family that loves us, because when we are sick, we have not only the access to the tools and the treatments and things that will help make us better or give us more comfort, but we have people that love us that will take us through it from a mental level. If we have all those things, and we know today that there are people out there that don't, and we know it, and we are not kind, we have no excuse for it. There is no excuse that justifies making another person's day worse.
Let's see. I was tracking with you, Lisa. I was tracking with you about being kind, being connected with things that are happening around us that maybe, are in another state, another country. I was tracking with you until you said, that you can, I don't even remember how she said it. Hold on, let me back it up so I can be exact. Just a moment. Just a moment. We're going to rewind it a little bit.
Because we have a family that loves us, because when we are sick, we have not only the access to the tools and the treatments and things that will help make us better or give us more comfort, but we have people that love us that will take us through it from a mental level. If we have all those things, and we know today that there are people out there that don't, and we know it, and we are not kind, we have no excuse for it. There is no excuse that justifies making another person's day worse.
And what do you think happens in multi-level marketing when somebody invests a lot of money and they don't see any return? What do you think happens when somebody is pitched a community within a multi-level marketing company, and the second they turn off their auto ship or decide it's not for them or don't get on the quote unquote training, and all of a sudden they're just kind of kicked to the side? What do you think that does to somebody? You've been in this industry long enough. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's really ironic hearing you talking about being kind when you're a part of multi-level marketing, something that statistically has been proven to hurt people. Wild.
By choice. There isn't. Sometimes we can't help. Walk away. Sometimes we don't like a position that somebody else takes. Don't fight. Go find a better solution. At the end of the day, the best solution wins. In a fair fight, the best ideas win. So that is the next lesson. You are going to have a lot of great ideas in your life. You will never pursue them all. Some will be pursued by other people because you didn't have the passion, the talent, the skill, or they weren't your best idea. But if you have an idea that you truly believe in, if you want to do something that is insane, radically different, never been done before, which describes pretty much every great person that's remembered long after they're gone. But nonetheless, if you have that and you are letting fear of what other people will think, fear of what, you can't afford to do it right now because the bills have to be paid, which they do, whatever it is, don't let any of it stop you. Because at the end of the day, there's always a way if you keep asking questions, which brings us back to what I was talking about with language. He who asks the most questions wins. You want
This right here. Isabel, yes. In a fair fight, but MLM is not fair. Agreed. It's not an even playing field. We know that. Yes, nailed it. Absolutely.
better answers, ask better questions. Use AI to help you with this. Today, if you meet people that believe they have all the answers to everything, you know what that means? That means they've stopped asking questions. That means they're not going to be any smarter or any different tomorrow, no matter what new information they might get today, because they won't even see it. And if they see it, they will reject it because it will threaten them, because it will threaten their beliefs. Some people today confuse beliefs, which change over time with new information, with value and identities, which typically don't. And those are all getting meshed up together, and it's causing a lot of confusion. But ask more questions, ask better questions, ask the next question. Well, that can't be done. Yeah. But if it's
What? Ask better questions. Ask the next question. What are we doing?
not impossible, maybe it could be done.
This right
So
here.
I don't see how it could be done, but if it could be done, how would we do it? And if we don't know how we do it, where could we start to find out? Who might know something that we don't know? Who might see something that we don't see? Who can we invite into this conversation? That's that C word again. Remember, I was talking earlier about the slow death of authentic, real conversations. And I said that's where everything great is born, lives, prospers, and is passed on, is in conversations. Stories are conversations, right? We always remember the great stories, and we always share them in conversation. So if we think about that, I'll also add this. People always ask me, how were you so successful in business? And I don't know that I was so successful. I've been relatively successful in the field that I've spent a great deal of my time in. I have other businesses, but I'm probably most well known for network marketing. And I have built with incredible people who were better than me, that I was fortunate enough to be able to inspire through conversations of what we might be able to do together.
Y'all catch that? I was able to inspire people through conversations what we could do together. Is that what you did when you invited Jessie Lee to Dallas and pitched Pruvit to her, allegedly? You collected a lot of money off of her and that team, right? I guess I should say our team at that time. That's weird. Interesting.
Some amazing businesses in network marketing. I've been very blessed. What a lot of people don't understand is I don't consider that my strong suit in the space, because I have an ability to recognize talent and genius and to spend time around it and learn from it and build relationships with it, and then find parity when we all see something to be able to go do great things together. I've always felt my strength was on the other side, the business of network marketing, which so many people really don't understand. And should, and I'm trying to help with that a little bit. And it's boring stuff, but necessary. But the reason that I've had, and people say, how have you had as much success? And today, you're not really a social media person, guilty. You're a techno idiot, have t-shirts. You never make reels,
funny.
don't know how. You're not on TikTok. I could go live on TikTok, maybe, if all of you would come follow me. So
I definitely think that her paycheck has been impacted negatively since Jessie Lee passed. I think that, in my opinion, Pruvit as a whole has been impacted. Why? Because we are seeing people leaving left and right. I get messages all the time. People that are literally counting down the days before they leave. So when people leave the company, that impacts the revenue, that impacts the uplines. So absolutely, yeah. I do think that, yeah, yes, to answer your questions. In my opinion, yes.
I could have enough followers to go live, but I just am not really good at making videos and things like that and cutting things. I have no artistic ability whatsoever. And I think I'd like to, but I'm really not passionate about it. So how am I able to be successful anyway? Well, first off, if you're really good at something and I'm really good at the same thing, then together we have two hammers and we can talk about it. We really haven't found a nail. So I always like to, double down on my zone of genius. You double down on yours, and what can we do when we get together? But I believe, and I have always believed, that he who has the most conversations wins. And he who is the most interested in hearing what other people has to say wins. And he or she who listens with intention and not expectation will always find out from other people what they are truly looking for. And when you have insight into what other people are looking for, you can serve them and help them find it, even if today that isn't what you wanted them to do. Because human relationships are like bank accounts, and over time you build up goodwill or you don't. And if you are kind and you are helpful without expectation, and you care about others, and when you see something, if you can leave it better than you found it, not everybody remembers, and there will be people that disappoint you. That will be so outweighed by the people that don't.
People... Oh. Being a part of multi-level marketing does not leave people better. Period. No.
So how was I able to be so successful? Because I listen, I have the most conversations, and I have been blessed with an overabundance of awesome people in my life, and I appreciate them.
I don't think it has anything to do with you appreciating them. I think it has everything to do with you building a network of people over 30 plus years that you periodically reach out to out of nowhere and, chat with them, and what do they know and who do they know? And you do this same kind of thing that you're doing here on the phone with them. And when you join a company, you make those phone calls. That's in my opinion, that's what we're seeing here.
I appreciate them. Next lesson in my life, live in gratitude. If you're going to know a lot of people in a world of, you can have 5,000 of them. Nobody even knows what the word friend means anymore. But people that you truly let into your inner circle, here's the criterion. On their worst day, if they were thinking about you, now they shouldn't be thinking about you on their worst day. I wouldn't think that most of the people that I respect and love in this overabundance of awesome people on their worst day would be thinking about me. I would hope they wouldn't be. But if they were, I know that on their worst day, they would still want to see me win. I know that on their worst day, they would still want to see me happy. And that's how I feel about the people that have been with me in my life and been kind to me in my life and helped me out when there was no apparent reward for them in that moment.
Right, in that moment. There was no reward for them in that moment. But down the road, when you reached out about the new thing, whether it's Pruvit or whatever this next thing is going to be, then, okay, let's do this. This is wild.
There are people that I've since made literally millions and millions of dollars with. But when I got out of prison from that family business back in 1998, there were people that stepped up to help me that I very much doubt really thought that they would, that down the road, 20 years later, we would find a way to go out and do magical, incredible things together. And that they would prosper or I would prosper the way that I did. They were just kind people when I needed a break, and they gave me one, and I never forgot it. And so you live in gratitude.
Apparently she went to prison for, I believe it was tax fraud for her family business. I don't know how long she was in prison. I don't remember the details. I've heard her talk about this story, this chapter of her life, if you will, using the same kind of language that she's using here in this video. And I think she went to some sort of a camp or something. I'm not really sure. I don't remember all the details, but I'm sure that that is absolutely public record somewhere. But yeah, I believe it was like tax evasion, allegedly.
The day you get up, I am grateful. I have an overabundance of awesome people in my life. Period. End of paragraph. Period. End of paragraph. I've had a lot of heartbreak in my life. I've had a lot of disappointments, had a lot of things that didn't work out. But you know what? Dust yourself off. go forward, because the greatest asset that you will ever have is your connections, your close connections. In a world where life has become a contact sport and everybody considers it a game, we all have tons of contacts and tons of friends, and yet everybody, not everyone, that's globalizing, a lot of people are expressing a lot of loneliness, which brings us back to this mental health, because they're having everything but meaningful conversations. They're out protesting. They don't know what they're protesting. All these well-meaning, insanely young, crazy kids. But they're not worried about the person over in the corner who's feeling left out or isolated. So,
Plot twist. That's like 99% of people in multi-level marketing. They're being left out from making income, or they're losing income. Wild.
that, always be grateful and surround yourself with people that on their worst day, if they were thinking about you, they'd want to see you win. Do I have anything else to rant about today?
So here's the thing. I can point out, I'm just going to speak for myself here. I can point out unethical behavior, people in multi-level marketing companies, just like this video here, where we are talking about the tactics and the manipulation and the emotional manipulation specifically and all of that stuff. I can point that out and say this is wrong and still want the best for that person and for that person not to be harmed. So when they say, oh, you're a hater, you're this, you're that. Okay, fine. I'm a hater. Okay. What you're doing is unethical. So me pointing it out and you saying I'm a hater, it doesn't change what I'm pointing out. It doesn't change the statistics and the data behind it. Come on.
I don't think so. Does anybody else have any comments or anything that they would like to say? Or does anybody want to pop up here and talk to me?
And I think in these last few minutes, that's when she starts to pitch the thing. So we're getting there, guys.
Or talk with me. Well, anyways, I don't know what this is going to be because it's been a rant and it's been going on for a while. But I love you all. I'm kind of back. I am starting some communities. If you're not in my Hacking Happy group and you're interested in Hacking Happy, that's a pet project for me. Get in there. I have a group called the MLMUs, which I'm sort of been reactivating, thinking about teaching people along with Curtis Broom the business of network marketing. He's my
Her and Curtis Broom. Curtis Broom used to have a position, not a distributor position that I'm aware of. In Pruvit, he was in charge of Pruvit Asia, I think was the title, and was not in that position anymore for, I'm not really sure why. I don't know if he was asked to step down or if he chose to leave. Not really sure. He also MCs often Eric Worre's events, or used to, and also was at the Pruvit events. So he used to be a pillar within the company, if you will. And then again, another example of somebody that just kind of poof, was gone. Why? Don't know. No idea. So her and Curtis, her business partner that she was just saying, they have something that they're trying to do, it seems.
business partner, and I am going to be starting a community called Chapter 3. This is for women of a certain age, 50 plus, and if that's you and you'd like to be a part of it, make sure you let me know that. And I'm going to be at the ANMP, the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, which is at the end of the month, and if you're in our space and you could possibly be there, I highly recommend it. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful weekend in a lot of ways, not the least of which is a chance to really reconnect with people, be around some of the brightest and the best in our space, mingle with them, ask them questions one-on-one. I love going. I always have a pen and paper with me. I never fail to learn so much. And I learn as much from the audience as I do from the people on stage, usually sometimes more. And it's a really great time. I'm going to go up to the lake tomorrow, and I'll be back and forth over the summer. And I'm hope we're going to be doing some retreats up there and having some people come up and visit us. And, you know,
Who are you going to have up there to visit you? Potential new downline members?
if you want to come visit, always let us know. And with that, thank you. Thanks for making this first live back. At least I could get through it, because I got to tell you, like everybody else, I've spoken and around the world and back again, and hundreds of people, literally thousands of people, And every time I get away from it and every time I go live, I'm so worried because there's such a responsibility to try to bring some sort of value to the people that are gracious enough to give you their time. I know how valuable it is. I want to thank you for supporting me here.
You think this was valuable to people? Wow.
Love you, and I'll see you on the next one. And I hope it's soon.
Okay, goodbye. All right, now let's chat about this, guys. What are some companies that I think she might go to? And these are just, I don't want to even say predictions. These are just some of my thoughts. You guys can let me know what you think. She's talking about a very specific demographic of people. She's talking about women in, 50 plus, I believe is what she referred to earlier. So maybe it's LifeWave. Could be LifeWave, the patches that reflect light back into the body that are allegedly stimulate stem cell growth or whatever. Come on. I'm so glad Eloise is in the chat because what I just said, she's gonna be like, what? You should definitely go subscribe to her channel, by the way, if you guys haven't already. She's amazing. Let's see. You guys have some predictions. Olive tree people, I see that. Yeah, the LifeWave people do not like the video that Katie and I did. They do not like it. They come with every ad hominem attack that they possibly could. It's unbelievable. And their whole stance is, well, how do you know if it works or it doesn't if you've never tried it? There are many things on this planet that I'm not going to name specifically. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, that I don't have to try in order to know that they're not good. So come with something else, LifeWave people, because no, not happening. Anyways, what other companies could I see her going to? Frequence. She just hung out with Barb Pitcock not that long ago. I think Barb came to her house. So you guys already know how I feel about that because of what I talked about earlier in this video. Yeah, Eloise, I'll message you because it's absolutely wild. Val and or Gus say Amare. Yeah, that could be. Healy could be one. Yeah, here's our science bestie. Thanks for putting that in the comments. Lushy, I appreciate you. I don't think she'll go to Herbalife. No. I definitely could see Frequence also. Hi, friend. I could definitely see Frequence. I could definitely see her. And let's think about this. She's in Pruvit, which is a Terry LaCour owned company. So going to Frequence is another Terry LaCour company. So if you, and I'm not saying to do this, but if you kind of just browse through her timeline, you can find some comments, some posts that are like, oh, I wonder what she means by that. Purely speculation on my part, but I wonder if Brian is not happy, if she is or is getting ready to make a move to another company. And if she were going to make a move to another company, it would make sense to go from a Terry LaCour company to another Terry LaCour company, because is he going to sue himself? No. All she's going to do is piss Brian off, but so that's my thought on that. I don't think she'll go to lab. I don't think so. Maybe. You never know. I think that she will either start her own, or her and Curtis will do some kind of an MLM coaching, do network marketing, different kind of thing where she is selling courses or mentorship or something. That's where I think this is going. However, we shall see. This is the first that she's really talked about it. So more to come on that. And could she be leaving Pruvit? Perhaps. Perhaps. We're definitely going to be watching. So anyways, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much, especially with this kind of, different time. Although it looks like a lot of people really enjoyed it. So thanks for being here. Thanks for all your commentary. Shout out to the replay crew. I appreciate y'all. And if you have not already, if you would like and subscribe, that would be amazing. Unless you're Lisa Grossman or somebody in her downline or whatever that wants to thumbs down the video. I don't care. don't care. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day or whatever time of the day you're watching this, and I will see you on the next one. I have a video coming out on Friday, so that's going to be good. Don't miss out on that. And yeah, you guys have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody. Once I figure out how to put the outro out. Okay, there it is. All right, see y'all.